Hey guys, John from FlightMikeAlpha.com, and today we're going to be talking about what you need to know in terms of the VOR when it comes time for your written exam. So for the private pilot written, what do you need to know about the VOR? Not going too in depth into how to use it in flight or anything, but we're just going to hit all the key basic points as short and sweet as possible. So for starters, let's just cover a few basic parts if you don't already know. Now we have a few extra other videos that are way more in depth that you can check out as well, but this is just the short, sweet version. So we've got a VOR. We have an OBS knob, and the job of that OBS knob is to rotate this outer compass card, basically, that'll tell you what radial that you're dialed into. So after we select a radial, then we're going to be looking at our CDI, our course deviation indicator. That's that little needle that moves back and forth as we turn the OBS knob or as we fly around. Then we also have a to or from flag. Don't worry about this little horizontal bar. It probably won't be on your test, and it's not something we deal with at all at the private pilot level. So we're looking simply at the from flag and the to flag, the CDI, the OBS knob that controls this rotating compass card. Then over here in terms of the VOR, we have radials, and there's 360 radials, as we've talked about before in the ground school lesson on this. And each radial is in a fixed position. So the aircraft can never be on two radials at once. It can only be on one radial, or maybe in between two radials. If you get really far out those lines, the space between them gets bigger. But the aircraft's only going to be on one radial at a time for our purposes. And we're never really between radials for our purposes either. We're on a radial. So one of the most common things I'll ask you on the test is, are you northeast, southeast, southwest, or northwest of the station? So we're going to approach this in the most simple way possible without any kind of confusing drawing lines or drawing a diagram or anything. We're simply going to come down here and look at our VOR indicator because that's what they're going to give you on the test. And what we're going to look at here is we have a from flag, so we're going to cross off the top half. The flag's pointing to the bottom, we're just looking at the bottom half. Then we've got our needle, full deflection over to the right, so now we can cross off the left half and look only at the right half. So now, looking at this right half, we're going to go ahead and kind of come in the middle here, and about 45 degrees into our bottom right quarter here, we're going to read what heading that is. And that's about, I'd say about 315. That heading is the heading you would fly to get to the station if you had this indication. So 315 to get to the station if you had this indication. If you're flying a heading of 315 to get to the station, that means that you are southeast of the station where this aircraft is here. And you would fly heading 315 to get to it. If you don't believe me, we'll dial that up to about 315 there. Pretty close. And you can see that's taking us to the station. So it doesn't matter what this guy's twisted to, as long as you just use that simple trick, and we'll do the same thing again now. We have a to flag with a left scale deflection, so cross off the bottom half, and then left deflection, so we're just going to cross off the right half. Look only at the left here, and we again read about 315, 320 or so. So 320, 315 heading gets us to the station. Now we're not concerned with plus or minus 5 or 10 or even 20 degrees here. We're just looking for a general direction. What general direction gets us to the station? Well, in this case, 315, 320, that's generally northwest. If northwest gets us to the station, we are southeast. So let's try one of these together. I'm just going to move the airplane to some new hidden position here. And I'm going to spin our OBS knob around a whole bunch. And we're going to try it once more. And you can kind of guess where we are in relation to the station. So, bottom half, we're looking at cover up the top. Cover up the right-hand side. Look at the left side on the bottom here. And we come to a conclusion of about 110 or so. A 110 heading or so to the station would tell us, well, if it's 110 to the station, we must be northwest of the station because 110 from the station is southeast. So if we're over here and we're flying a heading of 110, we cross over and we continue to fly the heading of 110, we'd be southeast. Therefore, right now, we are northwest. And again, it does not matter what heading the aircraft currently is. As you can see, as we spin our DG around, it does not affect the CDI at all. The only thing that affects the CDI is when we actually fly the airplane around. That will move the CDI, the needle, or twisting the OBS knob moves the needle as well. So that's the basic simple version. We're going to look at a couple examples from the actual written test, and that'll wrap up this video. Then you can check out our other videos for some more in-depth knowledge about how to really use this VOR. We're just going over the short, sweet, basic stuff. So for an example here, we're going to refer to figure 29, illustration 1. The VOR receiver has the indications shown. What is the aircraft's position relative to the station? South, east, or north? Okay, well let's go ahead and look at illustration 1 here. So we'll look at illustration 1 here, and we can see we've got a flag pointed up to the top. So we cross off the bottom, we cross off the right-hand side since we got the needle over on the left, and we are then reading about 3, 4, 5 degrees or so to get to the station. So if it's 3, 4, 5 to get to the station, then we must be somewhere to the south, because 3, 4, 5, well, that'd be flying generally north to get to it, so we're to the south of the station, and the correct answer is south. We are south of the station. What is your position relative to the station? We're south of it. So there's a quick example of how to actually apply this method when you're doing the written test and you're trying to think of where are you relative to the station. Make sure you check out our website. We have tons of tutorials on every single written exam question that you could possibly get thoroughly explained. Make sure you check out our Patreon page. We greatly appreciate all the support you guys give us that helps make this project a reality. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, keep up with our latest episodes, and if you can't fly every day, then fly at MikeAlpha.com. We'll see y'all next time.